Now, Ruth, you mentioned that reproductive health obviously means more than just abortion, and part of reproductive health is also IVF. And Governor Walz has a very personal experience with IVF. Can you share a little bit more about what you know about his story?
Yeah, I think it's really important for people to know that when we're talking about reproductive health and how personal this is to individuals, and recognizing that Governor Walz has been very open about his family growing with the support of IVF. And that's one of the reasons that he fights so passionately and fiercely to protect reproductive freedom. Because while others are trying to control other people's reproductive health, he really understands firsthand what it means to be able to have the ability to choose what's best for you and for your family.
How do you think his leadership as governor could translate into leadership as a potential vice president? Obviously, he's not the top of the ticket. That would be Vice President Kamala Harris. But you've witnessed him, you've worked with him as governor. How do you think these policies will translate to national office?
Well, I think with Vice President Harris, she has really shown her commitment to protecting reproductive freedom. She actually made history earlier this year, becoming the first sitting vice president to visit a facility that provides abortion. They visited our St. Paul Planned Parenthood Health Center, and Governor Walz joined Harris on that historic visit. And so I think from the very beginning of sort of the unity of this ticket, there is a shared sentiment and support to protect reproductive freedom. And really, this is the most pro reproductive freedom ticket that we've seen in our lifetime.
Interesting. The most pro reproductive freedom ticket we've heard in our lifetime. And then on the other side, I've also heard the attack that this is the most radical liberal ticket we've seen in our lifetime. Are those two titles perhaps connected?
Well, I think what's most important is when you go to the American people, they overwhelmingly support access to abortion care, and they overwhelmingly support reproductive freedom, regardless of what title they wear. And so I think when we talk about this ticket, I think what we can say is this is the ticket that is most in line with the values of Americans.
Now, obviously, his appointment as running mate is still very new, but you sit as the president of the Planned Parenthood Action Fund for Minnesota. What is your chapter doing? What is the voter engagement that you are perhaps already starting to do?
So this election is the most consequential election of our lifetime, to be sure, as it relates to protecting access to reproductive freedom. And so we're in this space of ensuring that we are helping to get new voters registered, and we're talking to our neighbors because it's important for people to understand not only what is at stake with this election, but also to understand the importance of voting.
What is your plan for the next, I think it's 90 days? We are 90 days out from this election. What will you be doing on a day-to-day basis between now and November?
We're going to be talking to a lot of people between now and November. And I would just say within this space of having Governor Walz on the national ticket, there is so much hope. There's so much joy with Harris and Walz on this ticket. And so I think between now and November, what you'll be seeing is a lot of energy to ensure that we are on a path to truly protecting reproductive freedom in this country.
Ruth Richardson, Planned Parenthood Action Fund Minnesota, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your perspective. I hope you come back and tell us what you continue to see on the ground. But for the meantime, thank you so much.
Thank you.